we're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Wednesday, June 26th here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin and you're watching News Generation. Today we're joined by Park Gun-woo.
Good morning.
Long time no see, Gun-woo. And Brooke Prince.
Hello, great to see you.
Great to see you all. Now both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So today we're going to move on to our main discussion of the day right away. Now with summer here, many viewers are likely planning how to spend their vacation. And what's always high on the vacation list? That's traveling. So if you have plans to visit Korea this summer, take a look at the screen to find out more. In the past, common itineraries for travelers to Korea included visiting centuries-old royal palaces, museums with historical artifacts, going to Seoul Tower, and trying out the traditional dress, hanbok. But these days, with the tourism industry rebounding after the COVID-19 pandemic, the domestic tourism sector is adopting a different approach to offer a more hands-on experience. How is the Korean tourism industry evolving? So let's continue from what was mentioned in the VCR. Let's first talk about the changes we are noticing and what kind of tour programs are newly trending here in Korea, Gun-woo.
Yeah, so there have been big changes in tourism programs in South Korea compared to the past, over the past few years. So in the past, many foreign tourists usually visited places such as traditional palaces like Gyeongbokgung or other tourist attractions that represent Korea. But these days, even though those tourists actually visit those places, I think they try to find other things to experience at those sites. So for example, trying these traditional beverages and snacks at those palaces, and then taking some nice photos while enjoying their tour. And there are so many other like one-day classes where you can actually learn things within a day based on your interests, whatever it is, and basically things that you can experience in Korea. So for example, makeup classes where you can actually learn your favorite K-pop stars, makeup,
K-beauty.
Yes, K-beauty, exactly. And then also taking photos at photo booths. Because that's a must-do thing in Korea,
Yeah,
especially among the
you must do
younger
that.
generations these days. So yeah. But what's more cool is just like this picture I brought here.
Oh, wow!
So
You look like a K-pop star.
Amazing.
So this is a picture of me, and there's like these programs where you can actually get all your makeup and hair done like a K-pop star by a professional makeup artist. And then you can actually get your picture taken all at one place. So I think this is one cool thing that foreign tourists actually do these days and actually can do if they visit Korea.
I learned something new. I've lived here a long time.
Yeah, me too. I lived my
try.
entire life in Korea, but I didn't know that there were so many like new, unique tourism programs that are being offered here in the country. Now, I want to ask you, Brooke, do you think that these new emerging unique type of tourism programs or itineraries, are they actually working out?
I think so, and I think that shows in how many foreigners are visiting Korea these days, whether it's a short-term visit or like me being here for almost 8 years now. A lot of foreigners end up living here long-term.
Right.
But if you look at the statistics themselves, the number of foreign nationals visiting Korea has sharply increased from around 97,000 in 2021 to over 11 million people in 2023.
Wow.
With 4.87 million people visiting Korea between January and April of this year. Now, if you look at the screen, you can see myself taking a K-pop dance class.
I didn't know you were such a good dancer.
Thank you. This was us learning Fearless by Le Sserafim. And it's really fun. You can see a lot of my foreign friends are there too. So this is one option for foreigners that are coming into Korea and they really enjoy K-pop like myself. You can actually have a hands-on experience like this. You can learn the choreography yourself. This was about an hour class and we had such a good time. So that's one option. Another one is getting your personal color analysis.
Oh, yeah.
This has gone
That was
absolutely
big.
viral. You can find so many videos online of people trying to find the color that flatters them the most. And lots of foreigners are flocking to Korea to figure that out. There's also getting your fortune read. That's a really popular thing in Korea.
Right.
Going to K-culture classes, learning how to cook Korean food, things like that. Or if you want to become a K-pop idol yourself, the government is actually launching this new visa.
Yeah, K-culture training
That's right,
visa.
the K-culture training visa.
Yeah.
So if you want to go beyond just learning some K-pop choreography in a dance class, and you actually have what it takes to become a part of an entertainment agency and receive training, then there's an option for you. So overall, I just think because there are so many opportunities for foreigners here in Korea, we're seeing them come here in much larger numbers.
I definitely get it. And based on the unique or diverse tour programs that both of you guys mentioned, I can definitely feel that the boundary of tourism here in Korea has definitely expanded. So much to experience, as Konu mentioned, K-food, K-beauty, and as Brooke mentioned, learning K-pop, and also the K-culture visa that will come soon here in the country. Now, when talking about tourism Korea, we have to mention Jeju Island in the south, which is one of the country's most popular travel spots. Now, Brooke, I've heard that the island has become extremely popular, especially among the international millennials and Gen Z, right?
That's right. Now, I hate to admit this, but despite having been here for almost a decade, I have not had a chance to go to Jeju yet.
You were super busy, I guess.
Yes, I really want to go. It's on my bucket list. Particularly, I have heard that horseback riding there is
it's
really
great.
popular and beautiful. And one thing about me, I've been riding horses since I was 3 years old.
Really?
I actually competed as an equestrian when I was growing up. So it's a really meaningful part of my life, and I think it would be amazing to reconnect to it in a place as beautiful as Jeju. So that is on my list, but there are other activities that you can do in Jeju as well. A lot of young tourists tend to skip the duty-free shops, the typical thing that you would imagine a tourist would do, and instead they want to experience Jeju for the culture that's there. They want to go to the convenience stores, they want to go to the beauty shops, the local Korean restaurants. They want to try it all out for themselves. And additionally, what they're finding out is that more and more tourists are coming to Jeju and to Korea in general by themselves. So rather than coming with a large group of tourists, a lot of tourists want a more independent and self-sufficient experience. They want it to be individualized, and they want to make these memories doing actual hands-on activities. So instead of just going and kind of looking around, you get to really be a part of it. And I think that's one of the most appealing things about coming to Korea. And I really hope I get to go to Jeju sometime soon. Just looking at that CG, I just really wanted to go. It looked beautiful.
Right, you should definitely go to the island.
Have you been before?
Yeah, I've been there because like Jeju Island is kind of like the go-to spot for school trips, for high schools here in Korea.
Like a field trip.
Yeah, and I recently went to Jeju for a business trip in March, and even though I went there for a business trip, it was so beautiful, a lot to taste and experience, so you should definitely go to Jeju.
One day I will go.
Yeah. And now to you, Konu, one of the main reasons why we brought you back here on Newsroom is because you recently covered a story about the island launching the so-called hands-on tourism program. It's a new program, right?
Yes, so before I tell you more, I want to first share some data given by Jeju Tourism Organization, which shows that foreign tourists that visited Jeju during January to April this year soared by nearly 440% compared to the year before. And along with the increase, Jeju has been currently coming up with these special interest stores. So that people can experience things that they're interested in at the site, like horse riding,
which Brooke
golf,
mentioned.
yachting, and many more, you name it. Compared to when you had to choose a travel destination first in the past, these stores allow you to choose the activity first and then your traveling place.
Interesting.
And I also got a chance to get on a yacht ride during my 2 weeks ago. And there were also haenyos, women divers that harvest seafood underwater without any breathing apparatus. We're also on board. So as part of the tour, they brought these seaweed and sea urchins from deep down the sea to share with us. And I thought this was a really nice idea because it's not just entertaining, but also educational, especially because you can know more about haenyeo culture, Korean traditional culture, and so on. And so these tours are actually now being prepared to be released very soon because tourism industry related people and activity club members who visited Jeju to participate in these fam tours this year actually decided to make these as an actual tour.
Right, I see. So it really just, your package, I saw your package and it looked really interesting. And Kono, I heard that you prepared something for our viewers, like some sort of interview, right?
Yes, I did, yes.
So please introduce what you prepared.
Yes, so let's first take a listen to what the people from the tourism industry commented about what I've mentioned, the special interest tours, and how those traveling trends are actually changing.
Special interest tours are usually high-value products. Through these tours, we're making efforts to stimulate the economy of Jeju Island and to enhance the quality of Jeju tourism. Along with Greater China, the K-culture tour is the main theme for Japan, and cycling and trekking for Southeast Asian countries such as Singapore. This year, we have been conducting various familiarization tours targeting the Greater China region, including golf, fishing, and trekking. Luckily, many people are visiting Jeju Island afterwards. We will keep promoting the tours to reach the goal of 1.2 million people visiting Jeju this year.
Jeju travel used to be shopping-oriented, but has been changing to an experience-oriented thing, like visiting restaurants. It's good so that people can experience Jeju culture, food, and customs in depth.
So as they just mentioned, experience-oriented tours are really popular among these foreign tourists. And one example would be a cycling tour where you can ride your bike along the wide, beautiful Jeju Sea, which is actually being released very soon.
Oh, I see. I think I kind of get the reason why these international tourists are so into these tour programs, because not only can you just hear or see Korean culture, but you can also be part of the culture. You can experience it, as Konu mentioned. So I want to ask you guys back here in the studio, first of all, Konu, who actually went to Jeju Island and also experienced this tour package, what do you think are some of the reasons why more in the tourism industry here in Korea are coming up with these hands-on tourism, and why do you think that this is becoming so popular, especially among the younger generation?
Yeah, so basically I think it's because these MZers really prefer having experiences, especially at different places and countries, because they evaluate those kinds of experiences as a very important thing.
Right.
And one other reason I thought was because of the high influence of social media and K-content, like dramas and movies that stars all those famous K-pop stars. And when we just think about K-pop, for example, the K-pop artists' great performances on stage started getting very viral on social media, on these online platforms. And I thought it was a big part of those K-pop stars gaining much global attention.
Thanks to social media.
Yes, and that's why I think foreign tourists actually visit dance studios to actually learn those awesome K-pop choreographies.
Yeah, so they can feel like a K-pop star,
like
right?
Yeah. Yes, and these MZers not just learn those awesome moves, but they actually film these short videos
and share it.
Yeah, so that they can do these K-pop dance challenges and then share it online. And because posting things online is really what the younger generation like doing whenever they visit nice places or try these awesome things. And sometimes they even visit those places just to post photos and videos online.
Right.
And I can say that for sure because I myself do that as well. Visit those Instagrammable places, taking Instagrammable photos, and then experiencing all those fun activities there.
Right. Our definition, the tech-savvy generation is definitely into, when compared to the previous generation, more Instagrammable spots and more Instagrammable experiences. Now to you, Brooke, I think that you could bring a more fresh perspectives regarding the reasons behind the popularity in hands-on tourism.
Well, I have to admit, when I first came to Korea, I was the typical tourist. I looked up the top 10 best tourist destination spots in Korea.
I think we all do when we go to a new country.
I visited all of them. I went to Namsan Tower, and Lotte World, Gyeongbokgung. I did all of it. And I would say those places are still very much worth a visit. They are beautiful places to see in Korea, but there are also so many wonderful things to do. And I found that my most vivid, my best memories here are the ones where I really got my hands in and I really got involved.
It's more memorable, right?
Exactly. So, for example, I went to a temple stay and I got to make my own prayer beads, and I also did the 108 bow,
which is really admirable.
It was so tiring, but it was very meaningful and it was a very rewarding experience. I felt like I really got a glimpse of the culture rather than just reading about it. Doing it was very different. When I was learning Korean at a language institute, they also gave us many opportunities to have cultural experiences. We visited a pansori concert, so we got to listen to Korean traditional music. They also provided us with a Korean cooking class, which I will always remember because it was so much fun to get to actually do it ourselves. And so I think more and more tourists are looking for not just being able to look at the pretty things, but also be able to be directly involved.
Yeah, become a part of it.
Yes, I think they want to to kind of live and breathe what it's like to be in Korean culture. It's almost like rather than a vacation, they want to know what it would be like to live
as
here
a local
for
resident
week.
here.
That's why you hear that they're actually using public transportation systems. They're really wanting to be involved and going to all of the daily places that a local would go to have a really authentic experience.
Right, definitely. Now, as we're talking about this new emerging trend that's being seen here in Korea, we also asked our viewers whether they've traveled to the country and if they have plans to, what kind of experience they're looking forward to. Now, here's what 3 of them had to say. So if we look at the comments, Eddie says, I was in Seoul for a week last year. My favorite activities were walking and eating ramyeon by the Han River and climbing Namsan Mountain. I want to hike to scenic spots and enjoy the views. Toby says, Gyeongju stood out for me as it was steeped in so much history and had so much to tour and experience. The fortress castle with its grounds, the Buddha stone statue in the cave Seokguram, King Seondok's bell, and of course, Bulguksa temple, and so much more. Brodo Kiba says, when visiting Korea, I'd love to experience a vibrant street food scene, explore historic palaces like Gyeongbokgung, immerse myself in traditional tea ceremonies, and maybe even catch a K-pop concert.
Definitely do that.
Right.
Concerts are amazing.
So just by looking at our comments, we can definitely see that international tourists who have plans to visit Korea, they want this traditional type of tourism experience. For example, looking at temples or looking at museums or artifacts. But at the same time, they also want to experience, as we've been talking about, Korean food and all those hands-on experience. So as we've mentioned before, today on NewsGen, we're talking about hands-on tourism. We have more discussion coming up, but we'll be right back after the break. I mean, you guys gave so much good recommendations and suggestions throughout our episode and our discussion today. I think that this question our viewers would like to know most about. As someone living in Korea, for those who are thinking about visiting Korea this vacation, what kind of tourist spots or programs would you like to recommend? Starting with you, Brooke.
Well, I still would like to recommend those typical tourist spots because they are that for a reason.
Yeah, it's a good way to
wonderful.
start.
A good place to start would be going to the museums, going to the palaces. When my family visited, those are the first places I took them to because I know they're wonderful and you can learn a lot about Korean history that way. Once you're done with that, then you can get a little bit more hands-on. I would recommend some of my favorite things are going to noraebang, which is a karaoke room, and also the PC bang, which is where you can play computer games. Now, even if you're not a gamer, I would still recommend going because it's such a unique cultural thing in Korea, and you can still sit there and open your emails and get food delivered to your desk.
Yeah, the food delivery. I think that's amazing.
So I would recommend trying that, and this is my #1 thing. And you might laugh at this and think it's out of left field, but I would recommend going to Daejeon and going to Seongsimdang.
Oh, that bakery.
It is my #1 bakery, the best pastries I've ever had in my life. My friends all know if they ever visit Daejeon to bring me back a pastry because it's that important to me.
I see.
So if you have time, go to Daejeon, go to Seongsimdang, get yourself some pastries, delicious. But overall, there are just so many things to do and places to see in Korea. I would just recommend giving yourself enough time to enjoy everything the country has to offer.
Great, some great suggestions from Brooke. Now to our business correspondent, Konu, I think that you'll have a lot of recommendations to give us.
Yes. Especially because I was in Jeju for my coverage, I want to, recommend some activities that you can actually do at Jeju Island.
Nice.
So the yacht ride that I mentioned, I really recommend it because there's so many different concepts, not just the one that I was on with the Haenyos to experience the Haenyeo culture, but other than that, there's also a sunset tour, a night view tour, and also there's a seafood party where you can enjoy all these fresh seafood from Jeju Sea.
Wow.
I really want to be
We're all getting hungry now.
Your mouth is watering right now. I
know. Okay, and then there's also this transparent kayak on this emerald colored sea. The go-karting is awesome. And also, most importantly, the food. So you must try these black pig barbecues and different kinds of raw fish, including mackerels, and also many desserts like shaved ice with apple mangoes on top of it.
Right.
So you should definitely enjoy. I'm gonna go get some food right after. I'm
should.
starving. But anyways, what I want to mention is that as there are so many places to enjoy in local places outside Seoul, I hope you guys visit other cities including Jeju, Gyeongju, Cheongju, where I'm from, and many more when you visit Korea.
Right. So as both of our panelists mentioned, there are so many amazing, interesting tourist spots and experiences that you can have here in Korea. So why not choose Korea for your summer vacation destination this time? And until then, we'll be here every day from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Korea time, bringing you more topics young people are talking about. Special thanks today to our business correspondent Park Gun-woo
Always a pleasure.
and Brooke Prince.
Thank you. It was great.
Lovely to have both of you guys. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. We are News Generation.